And then I got this note. I was supposed to go to Ms. Wasserman, but she wasn't even here. So I guess. Is there a GCF in number 6? No. Okay, that's fine. So we have f of x equals x cubed minus nope plus 8. And then our root is -2. So I'm going to change that to the factor of x plus 2. Okay, everybody okay with that so far? All right, so I'm going to come down here and I'm going to make a 3 by 2 box still, even though x cubed plus 8 is short. Even though x cubed plus 8 is short, it's still a cubed. So I'm going to write x cubed plus 0x squared plus 0x plus 8 as my little placeholders. And I'm glad that we're doing one of these with the zeros. X cubed, x squared, 2x squared. I have 2, I need zeros, so this is -2x squared, -2x, -4x. Is it going to work? +4x, +4, 8. Woohoo! Party. Okay, but the party's going to end quickly. You're so funny. X squared minus 2x plus 4. That's hilarious. Okay. Okay, is everybody okay with my first bit? So I changed this to a factor, did polynomial division, and factored it to the side times the top. Okay, now we could sit here and try the box and diamond, but I'm going to tell you right now it doesn't work. Great. So awesome. So I'm going to go like this just to save room. X equals -2. One single real root. And then I'm going to use all of this space for your favorite thing, clock formula. X equals -b plus or minus square root b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. Okay. 2 plus or minus square root 4 minus 16. Everybody good with the 4 minus 16? 2 plus or minus the square root of -12 over 2. Okay, so over here, I'm going to go 12. No, I'm not. I'm going to scooch that over a tiny. I'm going to go 12 is 4 times 3, 2 times 2, circle cancel. Okay, hold on. We have 2 plus or minus. Okay, the circle thing comes outside with the I, not 4. The 3 is left inside, remember? The 4 had branches? No? Yes? Okay. Then I'm gonna get my red pen. Okay, what kind of roots are these? Two single complex roots. Okay, what makes them single? Yeah, there's one of them that's plus or one of them that's minus, or there's no exponent there. Either one of those answers is correct. And what makes them complex? The I, not the root. That's what I want to check. Complex does not mean complicated. Complex means there's an I in there somewhere. Therefore, yeah, okay. I take your point. Okay, so now how do we sketch when there's complex? So first of all, we have a single root at -2. So I'm gonna go to -2 and make my dot there. And then I use the average of the roots, which is 1, the number in front, and I don't make a dot, I just make a tick mark. Okay, then I say to myself, self, is there a positive or negative a value? Positive, which means that I'm going to come from the top or the bottom. It's a cubed. Bottom. Bottom. Okay, so just think about when it's an odd power, it's increasing over time because it's a positive a value, so it's going to start low and high. So you're going to go through the single, and then I just like to make my little change of direction dip at the 1 that I got from my complex. You guys okay if we skip end behavior again? I could say skip and put any word after that and you'd be fine with it. Okay, now let's go down to spicy problem number 2, which is number 8. Okay. Y equals A. All right, let's go slowly. What do I do for 0? X. What do I do for -4/3? 3x plus 4. What do I do for 1 plus √6? First, just this one. X minus 1 minus √6, right? X, switch sign, switch sign. Okay. And then you say to yourself, oh no, I can't multiply those. I'll still have gross roots in there. So I have to have his best friend of 1 minus √6, which would be X minus 1 plus √6. Okay, let's just pause right there before we move on. Does the X make sense? Do you know where that came from? Does the 3x plus 4 make sense? And do you know where that came from? And then you have X, switch sign from the original one, X, switch sign from the conjugate. Okay, who should I multiply first? This answer, there's a correct answer here. Conjugates, always multiply those first to get rid of anything that's bad, like imaginaries or roots. Do I have to do the whole thing? No, it's glorious. Because you think to yourself, oh man, it's a 3 by 3, but it's really not. Okay. Okay, so this, what would be in this box? Negative, yep, root 36, which is -6. You don't have to write the negative root 36 there if you don't want to, but it helps some people. Okay, so far we have y equals a, x, 3x plus 4, x squared minus 2x minus 5. You guys all see where the -5 came from? Okay, now this is the point where I would solve for a. Um, do you want to solve for a now, or do you want to wait till we get the box done? I like to solve for a now, but you can do whatever you want. Again, when you guys take your quiz on Friday, remember that it's going to be a whole number. If you get a whole number, that's good. It's a moment of truth. If you don't get a whole number, go back and look at your work because I wouldn't do that to you. Okay. Okay, what do I do now? So 3 by 2 box, you're saying? Okay, last step, distribute. What's half of 23? 12.5? 11.5. Holy shnikes. Okay. So, you guys, the first thing we're doing today is a resource page. If you could find the one that says, it says 9.1.4a at the top. It's right after the answers for the quiz review. 9.1.4a. And then I need everybody to go get, make sure you have a graphing calculator that's in degree mode. Make sure that it's in degrees. Guys, have a seat. Okay. You guys have all of your calculators. You checked that they're in degrees. You know how to tell how many degrees is it? Okay. Do not write any of this. This is yesterday's notebook. I'm just referring back to yesterday's notebook. So today we're going to work on cosine. And we graphed the sine wave last week. Do you guys remember when I took the ruler and I like lined up the little dots with the height of the triangles? So I like went to that spot with the triangle and I put a ruler and I went over and made a dot. And then I moved it to a different spot and went over and made a dot. Okay, I can't really do that with cosine. So I need to make sure you guys are situated with sine and understand what cosine is. And then I'm going to rely on some patterns, mathematical patterns. I'm hoping that will help. So yesterday we said that this is just what we were talking about. Sine would be the height of the triangle. Okay, so sine is height, and I took the height of where they were on the streamer and went over and graphed it and made the wave. Okay. Cosine is the base. And here's the problem. How am I supposed to take the length of the base and make that the length of the base and make that the height of the wave? And I'm going to do that at the beginning, but I'm going to use an erasable pen, and you guys can decide what you write on here and what you're not going to write on here. But I want to make sure you guys understand I'm using an erasable pen because I want you to see that the bases of these triangles all overlap each other. So it's like almost impossible to label. Okay, so I'm going to do my best here. So we're going to graph y equals cosine of theta. That's what we're ending up graphing. And cosine, as a reminder, is the base of the triangle. And I think that's why our book starts with sine, is because it's so much easier to just relate the height. It's much harder to relate the length of the base. Okay, and we're going to do this a couple of ways. We're going to do this visually with my circle, and we're going to also do it with a table in your calculator. And then we're going to do it with pattern recognition. And I'm hoping one of those three methods is going to appeal to you. See which one you like. Okay, first, this is 0 degrees. Label 0 degrees right there. What is the length of the base of the triangle? And this is really hard because it has a height of 0. So it's like almost a calculus thing. So what I'm asking is, what's the length of this? Okay, and what we're going to do is we're going to take our idea of what that might be and apply it to the calculator and what the calculator is going to tell us. Okay, let me ask you this a different way. If this is the unit circle, what is the length of the radius? What? So how long is this? What? Isn't that a better way to ask that, maybe? Okay, now let's verify what that is with our calculator. So I want you to say, if x is 0 degrees, what is the cosine of 0 degrees? 1. And I'm really hoping you can see this is 1. The calculator tells you the cosine of 0 is 1. So what I want you to do is at 0 degrees, plot the point at 1. This is the coordinate 0, 1. It's just really hard to kind of imagine this coming off of the length of the base. Okay, so here's my next question. If this is 1, what is this? If this is 1, what is this? Really close to 1, right? Almost 1. Okay, what I want you guys to do is go to your calculator and find the cosine of 15 degrees because that's where my little line ended up. 0.966. Okay, 2 questions. Does that seem reasonable for the length of the base? Yeah. And does that number sound familiar?
Yes.
Ah, ha, ha. Okay. All right, let's keep going. So if this is 0.966, what does this look like? Okay. Let's see. Cosine of 30 degrees, 866. I'm really hoping that you're starting to be like, oh yeah, these numbers sound familiar. Okay. Now we're going to go here to 45 degrees. Does anybody remember what it is? Yeah, I just typed in the answer. Area code. You know you missed me saying area code a bunch of times unnecessarily. Okay. Graphically speaking, what's 60? 0.5, right? If this is 1, that was 0.5. Okay. 75 degrees. I don't even remember what that was. 259. Right. And then what do you predict 90 degrees will be? Yep. Okay. So now we can use mathematical patterns to help us continue the wave. If it starts up here and going down here, what's going to happen to my wave? It's going to go under, right? Okay, and that just makes sense to you if you think about the coordinates. Give me a coordinate that lives in this region here. Any coordinate that's in quadrant 2. Like -6, 7. Like wouldn't -6, 7 live in quadrant 2? What do you notice about the x? It's negative. Okay, so that means your wave is going to go negative. Okay, but we can just copy off of our pattern. So 0.259, 0.5, area code 866, 966, 1. Okay, what do you know about things in quadrant 3? What would be a coordinate in quadrant 3? How do you graph things down here? They're both negative, right? Like -6, -7. So that means I'm looking at the x's. My wave would still be negative, but it's going to be coming back up. 966 866 area code. I don't know what other states do. What do they do? How do they remember 707? Okay, now what about quadrant 4? What do you know about coordinates in quadrant 4? Yeah, positive x, negative y. So like 6, negative 7. Okay, so positive x means that my wave is going to continue up this way. Same pattern. I'm just sort of cheating off myself. I could use a ruler for this. That'd probably be better. That's wrong. Okay. 259.5 area code 866 966 1. Okay, now the hardest part. Okay. Everybody have their curve in there? How is it? Is it beautiful? Is it gorgeous? Okay, what I want to do now is I want to try to, and this is hard for me, I want to try to put sine and cosine next to each other, on top of each other. Like that. Okay, this one is cosine at the top that we just did. This one is sine, which is the one we did the very first day. Okay. So they have some things in common. I want to speak in proper vocabulary. Can you tell that they both have the same amplitude? Do you guys know what amplitude means? They have the same height from the middle. They both have the same midline. The midline is the x-axis in both of them. Do you guys understand what I mean when I say midline? Like this line here that goes through the middle? Okay, so they both have the same amplitude. They both have the same midline. They both have the same period. Okay, what that means is cosine goes from 0 to 360 to complete one wave. Sine goes from 0 to 360 to complete one wave. Still 0 to 360 for both of them. Okay, what's the difference? What's the major difference between sine and cosine? They start at different spots. If you could just internalize that they start at different spots, then you're golden. That's all you need to know. They start at different spots. But now I'm going to blow your mind a little bit. Watch this. Cosine is really just a horizontal shift of sine. How much of a horizontal shift? 90 degrees. Cosine and sine are the same exact wave, just one of them is a 90-degree shift of the other, 90-degree horizontal shift. Okay, however, I really want you to remember what Chris said. More importantly, they start at different spots because for our class, we're going to use a locator point and like HK and like graph it like that. So if you can remember, they start at different spots. Perfect. Okay. All right, we're going back to the notebook for a minute. Yes. That was number 42. This is all the room I'm taking up in your notebook today. Try to make this your best circle. Oh, by the way, on this one, I made it a radius of 5 graph paper squares on purpose.
What should do that do?
It depends on how exact you want to be. Because my scale, I'm going back to the Screamer for a hot minute, so my boxes are going to be 20 feet each. How many potential spams could I get in one day? Okay, I have a question. Um, does anybody remember the names of the people that were riding the Screamer? Nobody? It was Renee and Antonio. Okay, so new problem. Renee and Antonio are on the Screamer. And do you guys remember how they had to rush to get it built in time for summer? Okay, so let's say that Renee and Antonio were 26 feet away from the center pole when the ride came to a screeching halt. 26 feet. Are you guys okay? Are you 26 feet away from the center pole when the ride comes to a screeching halt?
Yeah.
Yeah, think so. Okay, so I made these boxes go by 20. So if this is 20, imagine what 26 would be. I don't know, something like this. I'm going to attempt to draw a bow tie in that's like 26 feet. I'm doing all of the cheating right now. That is terrible. Okay, if I said to you, when Renee and Antonio were riding the Screamer and it came to a screeching halt 26 feet away from the center pole, does it make sense to you that if their friends were gonna go try to find them, there would be 4 possible locations that they could be? Do you see the 4 possible locations? Okay, perfect. Okay, now we know the Screamer is not the unit circle. The Screamer is based on the unit circle, but the radius of the Screamer is actually 100 and not 1. It wouldn't make sense for the base to be 26 and for the hypotenuse to be 1 anyway. Okay, so here's my question. How can I find this angle if I know the base is 26 and the hypotenuse is 100? This is a math 2 question. Inverse cosine is the answer. Okay, so you write cosine of theta equals adjacent over hypotenuse. And then undo cosine. Theta equals cosine inverse. Okay, everybody type that in the calculator. Find me the angle. And just for the purposes of what we're doing today, we're going to round this to the nearest degree, which is 75. Okay, does it look possible that my angle is 75 degrees? Does that look like a reasonable answer for that spot? Okay, in your groups, I would like you to do 3 things. Are you ready? You're going to find the reference angle. You're going to find the angles in the other 3 quadrants that are marked on the streamer. And you're going to find a positive and negative coterminal angle to 75 degrees. You're practicing for your quiz. Reference angle, other quadrants, coterminals. That's what we're going to do with this problem. Oh, almost. We have one more thing to do after this. Oh, no, no. No, I said we're practicing for our quiz on Friday. Is it 285? It's 285, right? Yeah. Okay.
Sam said
right?
175.
255.
I said 195.
I'm gonna put the,
Yeah, done.
I'm gonna put it up in a second.
I don't understand like the math of it is just for my brain to like see like what the quadrants would be, like if that makes sense.
Oh, I think that's good. It's not easy for everybody. It's so much easier when you have a picture too, in my opinion, because the ones on the quiz review, like there was no picture. Yeah, and it's like you almost have to. Did you guys get negative 285 for the negative? Did you do a negative coterminal? You're supposed to do a positive and negative coterminal. Does it make sense how to get that? Negative 285, yeah. Check your answers when you're ready. You might have missed my instructions. That's not you, it's me. I just said find a positive and a negative coterminal angle in that spot. You might have missed that part because I gave you 75 instructions at once. It's not your fault. How are we doing? We're doing okay? Okay, so on your quiz, it's very much like this, minus two things. First, it's not going to be sketched already. It's just gonna say, given the angle 75 degrees, sketch the angle in the proper spots. We just have to make it in a reasonable spot. Then find the reference angle, find the other three angles in the other quadrants, and find a positive coterminal. I didn't ask you to do a negative coterminal on the quiz, but I just wanted you to practice that. We did a little extra on that, but we already had it draft. The picture is there and it is required for you to sketch it on the quiz this time. Do you have any questions about that before we move on? I did, so I went to 75 like this way, and then I rotated backwards 360, so I did 75 minus 360. And you can keep going minusing 360 or adding 360s until you hit a positive and until you hit a negative. Okay, perfect. All right, so we have one more thing, and then I'm gonna ask you to do one more thing in your groups. Which is also practicing for the quiz tomorrow. So if you could find the resource page that's right after the one we just did. And if this takes us longer than 60 seconds, we're doing it wrong. But okay. This is brand new for you, brand new. It says labeled y equals sine theta at the top, and it's called the cosine calculator. But what I really want to point out is that it starts at the top and ends at the top. And if you guys can wrap your brain around cosine starting at the top, ending at the top, that's what I really wanted to get from our earlier stuff. So I'm hoping at some point you guys would be able to say that's cosine without the label, because it starts at the top and ends at the top. And then I'm hoping that you would look at the one we did the other day. And I know this is new, we're not there yet, but I'm hoping that you would be able to look at this one and say, oh, it starts on the midline and ends on the midline, so that's sine. So that's kind of where I'm going, but anyway. Tangent is super weird, and we only spend one day out of it out of like pure fun, and I'd never test you on it as far as the graph of it goes. Okay. All right, so if you guys could find 75 degrees for me, that's the one that we were just working on here. So 75 degrees, 60, 70 would be right here. What's wrong? Did I say something wrong? I do?
You say 67.
Oh, well, I don't even think about it anymore. I thought it was over. I still enjoy it. I don't care.
Big 26.
What's that? Okay. So, okay, so go up to the wave and like, what's the approximation there? 0.259. Okay, and that should make sense if you think about what's 26 over 100.26. Okay, so 0.259, and I really want you guys to relate this to the base of the triangle, not the height, but we're going to use the height to find another spot that's also 0.259 away. And this spot right here is 285 degrees, which jives with your fourth quadrant answer from the unit circle. Okay, and now I'm going to sort of cheat. I'm going to go 10, 25. And it's gotta be like there. I went like, so you know how this is like 0.259? So I went down 10, 20, 0.259-ish. And these two answers should be the quadrant 2 and quadrant 3 answers from our unit circle. So this should be 105. And this one was what? 255? Okay, so all we are going to do when we go back to our notebook where it says 9-44 is we're going to list these out. So 75, 105, 255, 285, which is not really shocking because we already got that up here, but the link is between the unit circle and the wave. So 75, 105, 255, 285. Okay, you do not write this. This is for my next class. I was trying to fix it. Right, that's the end of the notebook. Okay, now, after you finish that, writing that down, I need you to put everything under your chair. Everything under your table, next doesn't have to be under your chair, but just to be next to you on the floor, everything except for beverages. Everything except for beverages. Oh, wait, you need a pencil, sorry. Okay, if you're a person who wants to draw with a, no counts.
What about?
No counts. This is not a quiz, this is not a quiz. We're working on mental math. Okay, what's gonna happen is I'm gonna give each person in your group a different worksheet. The directions are just to sketch the angle and find the reference angle. Okay, so the directions are sketch the angle. If you want a ruler for that, because you're a particular type of person, then that's fine. Do you guys know what the reference angle is before we move on? Yeah, it's the quadrant 1 angle in between the hypotenuse and the x-axis. So whatever this little guy is right here. So it would be the angle in your bow tie. Let me give you a really good picture. Reference angle in this one is 34 because those are all 34 degrees from the x-axis. Does that make sense? Okay, so your directions on this worksheet are to, everyone in your group has a different worksheet, by the way. Your directions on the worksheet are to sketch the angle, to sketch the arrow, and then figure out the reference angle. Got it? Okay, we're practicing our mental math right now. Which is basically adding to 180, subtracting from 180. I think all have different ones. I don't know, all the answers might be on that orange field. You think they're all on there? Yeah, we got her, comfort feel next to her. Okay, mental math, mental math. It's fun. Okay, can you guys stop that change, please? Please. Please. Please, sophomore voices. Kindergarten, your hands just out. It doesn't matter which one you take, they're all the same difficulty. What? Please don't use your. Oh, it's this. This is. Okay, guys, there's two directions. You're drawing the arrow and finding the reference angle. If it's greater than 360 or less than 360, you're gonna have to figure out how many 90s to count. It's okay. Give it your best, y'all.
Good.
18. Hey, I love you all, you're doing too much. It's just one arrow and find the reference. Just, I usually just. No, that's.
Based on the third class. We know this. 45, that is the 45.
You don't need to find the other quadrants, just one arrow and the reference table. That one's done. Yeah. No.
They're all different.
And then you find
Whatever angle the first half of.
Because you're in
So you need to find
They don't all you got to because
197, what adds,
the one that you got can. What is That's the hard part.
Oh, that's just the answer right there.
You get the between them and the echo. We're saying the same, thing, but I'd rather you label it in the. Like, I'd rather you label it. You don't have to write anything in the first one, and then we don't live in. Okay, now. You have the first couple. I want you to compare your answers with your group.
there's a back.
It's not that hard. What do you notice about your answers? What? You should all have the same reference angle answer.
Oh, 45, 45.
Yes. That's how you can check each other now.
This, would it be? I just add. This is the first thing we did. Wait, no,
So the problems are all different, but the answers are the same.
Wait, what?
I put a little bit in it. A little bit spicy.
So number one, everyone should have 45 degrees. Number one is 45 degrees.
Yeah. Too spicy.
Well, you're able to feel the You're doing it right. You're not good. Oh, I actually don't. Oh, and then. Number two is 25 degrees. Number two is 25. Okay. Are we getting it? All right, Christy, are you picking up what I'm laying down?
Yeah.
I'm picking up I get it.
You all at 17 degrees.
Number three is 17. Check number three. Everyone should have 17. That's the hard part about the whole thing. Okay, so this is what I do. I go, like, okay, let's say 360 minus 17. I go 360 minus 10, and then minus another.
Oh, yeah.
Mine.
Did you guys get the 17 for number three?
What?
I don't know what number four is.
23.
23. Number four is 23. 23. I don't know. I'm totally cheating off of people. 5 is 53. I should really get the answer to.
Oh, I do.
I'm doing the responsible thing and finding the answer key. I found it. Yep. Perfect.
Go backwards. 45.
Okay, I'm gonna let you use your calculator now. Take up time. That was enough brain broccoli for 1 minute. What could you do? Time. Talk about very normal. I'm dying googly eye.
I didn't like completely do that.
Are you done?
It took me a minute. It took me a half hour. So I can do it all at once, right? Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to announce the answers from the front side. It goes. Guys, check the front side. 45, 25,
Oh, because 45.
So.
17, 23, 53, 15. Are you guys okay with the front side? Okay.
Yeah. We took the.
So this one.
On for.
Can I get what I'm saying?
What do you want? A 450. 278. Chris, you got 8 there, is it 7? Okay. What? You got 8 for 7? Yeah. Oh, it's 10 TV. You rotate like it's pretty much. I don't think it's like that. I think it's all eight or eight. There's 4:30, 4:30, so. Like this. And then- So imagine.
That's 180, that's 233.
Oh, this one, I don't even, I was even, what was that? I didn't do, I didn't do it, I just surprised.
So, yeah. One is not right. Okay, so-
Then you, I just.
Imagine this. Five 40 mark. 37. 37? Yeah, 37. So what? 37.
If you ever really, really. And I would ask.
Yeah, I got it. I'm a specialist. You have to memorize like literally some of those conversations. Yeah. But he gives it, or and he gives you like 30 minutes to do it. It's literally just, he'll randomly assign you 30 minutes, you have to memorize it. Converse it in class and then you have a half hour to do it.
Well, then, so this is negative, you want to add on, because it'll be more positive. And when it's really big, you want to sign off.
Did you get your permit? No, bro, I don't get my, take them out loud to get my permit. What did you do? That was hard. My brother, so
47 minutes finished.
Yeah, I think I.
There you go. I wish I knew.
Okay. I got, you guys, can you check? 82, 47,
Oh, yeah, what was
number 7 is 82, 47. Well, because you guys don't know how to borrow. No. So add 3.
Yeah.
The negative
Yeah,
7.
it's 47. You got it.
It's 47.
Yes, whatever.
Yeah. Okay, you guys, let me give you a little piece of advice that I've been giving a few people. Let's say that I was asked to do negative 850. Okay, that's a lot, right? It's really hard to visualize negative 850. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go, okay, I don't like negative 850. I'm going to spin in the positive direction once. I'm going to spin in the positive direction again. I'm going to spin in the positive direction again, and instead graph something that's between 0 and 360. That's the whole idea of coterminal. You can use anything you want, but I'm going to make sure my number is between 0 and 360 before I graph it. Okay, let's pretend I have 1025. That's a lot of rotations. So I'm going to minus 360 until I get a number that's between 0 and 360, and then I'm going to graph that. That's the beauty of coterminal. You just force it to be between 0 and 360. And I would force it to be between 0 and positive 360 because that's easier than negatives. Yes. Which is great. Okay, checking answers. Number 7 is 82. Number 8 is 47.
I'm done.
You want to check the
Yeah,
rest?
better than that is.
Okay. 31.
31.
Mhm.
Wait, it's on nine. Vice President. Wait, yeah, I got my math down.
2, 10, 28, 49.
Okay. But you said 2, 10, 28.
49.
I had 49 for 30.
Yeah,
And
And then
20,
88.
and then, yeah.
88 left. It's a little bit.
Get it. Yeah, we out here. We lit. All right. I have a question. I have a question.
Some people
No.
like.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, but maybe you should have thought of it before you didn't follow me back on Instagram. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, so I stopped. Oh, it's okay. I use one of those third-party apps that tell you he doesn't.
Oh, you like.
No, I deleted it after. I deleted it after. Yeah, it wasn't even an app, yeah, it was a website.
Did it like ask for?
That's for the end.
Okay,
Save your phones in.
you guys,
DW, man.
in 3 minutes, I'm gonna ask you to look at your quiz review so that I can take questions on that. If you're not done with this, I have to tell you, I don't really care. I do care,
Oh.
it's just that I can't care about everything. But, I do wanna make sure I answer any questions you have from the quiz review. Well, I know I have 6 things, but I don't even know if I have time. Guys, answers are on the screen if you wanna check any of them.
I'll just tell that. Can you stand my makeup work too?
Oh, yeah. That's gonna be satisfying.
It's gonna take a while. Yes.
It's okay.
Excuse me, stop it. Also, Miss Farmer's the method?
Yes, do you have any questions from the quiz review?
No.
Okay, then.
But is it okay if I like leave my backpack over here for safety purposes?
I can't believe I have
With
to
this more boys?
babysit your backpack.
Okay.
Okay.
It's not the boys and stuff.
Let's say that I couldn't believe in a math class, I have to babysit your backpack.
Also, there was one assignment that I turned in late and it still says 5 out of 10.
Yeah, probably right. You're probably right. You're probably right. I probably got unorganized for a hot second. Okay. Shh. Okay, guys. Take a look at the quiz review, please. Okay. Take a good look through it. See if you have any questions for me. Any questions whatsoever, anything, even if it's dumb? No questions? Um, guys, shh, real quick. Do you know what the homework is? Okay, now, there's no way I'm gonna be able to stamp everything. So we're doing a worksheet on Friday that's before your quiz, so I think I'll stamp then. But let's discuss what I will expect to see. I will expect to see this, and this is mostly resource pages. This homework. This also has resource pages. The maze. This is yesterday's notes. Quiz review. 42 to 44 and your worksheet that you just did. And if it's, completed, great. If it's not, no big deal. And then the homework 52 to 57. Selected problems from 52 to 57.
What's the CW?
Classwork. This just means finish this worksheet. You guys need anything? I'm open for questions. Yes, it is.
Still checks.
Oh, of course, of course.